Welcome to today's tutorial. In this video I'll be showing you how to make a 6 pieces flare gown. If this is what you're interested in, please do well to stay tuned, give me a thumbs up, and most importantly do not forget to subscribe. So you can see, first off, I have my pattern paper. Okay, this is your normal Princess Dart bustier. I'll be making a Princess Dart bustier 6 pieces flare gown. Okay, so if you're using it, if you want to make it a straight cut, go ahead, just draft your pattern as I've done so. But the only difference is that from my underbust length I came down by 2 inches. Okay, I'll be going ahead to mark that so you can see that from the point of my underbust length, it's on the pattern paper, and I'll do. Can you see as I'm marking that? So it's just 2 inches from your underbust length. Okay, it just came down by 2 inches because the flare will be starting after 2 inches length. So I'm going ahead to place my pattern paper on the fabric. I've already folded my fabric, and as you can see, I folded it to accommodate my pattern, and I'm going ahead to pin it. Now, after I'm done doing, what you want to do will be to secure your length. Of course, this is the front center piece I want to mark. Also take note that I folded my fabric into 2. Then I'm going ahead to secure the length. The length of this client is 54 inches, so I added 2-inch allowance, making 56. So from this point, all you want to do is from where the pattern paper ends, you just flay it. Okay, now how are you going to flay it? Now you determine the width of your flay. For a moderate 6 pieces flare gown, you can begin to flay, take your flare from 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches. But I decided for what I'm doing, I'm going to be adding my flare by 6 inches. So now take note of what I'm going to do. Can you see I'm measuring the width of the bottom line of the paper, and I extended it. So I had 3 inches at that point, 3.2 inches. I went ahead to extend it down to the length of the gown, 3.2 inches. I'm sorry the camera didn't capture that, but I'll explain. Now after securing that width, now after that 3.2 inches, I now measured extra 6 inches. Do you get that? So if I'm going to be having the final width of my flare down, I'm going to be having like about 9.2 inches. So do you get that? That is how you add your flare allowance after the baseline of your pattern paper. Go ahead and add the extra inches. So can you see what I have? I'm sorry again that the camera didn't capture it, but I will change the camera so you can get a better view of the length. Okay, so as I'm cutting, I positioned it at some point so you could capture the length better. So can you see that? So please, if you do not understand, take the video back so that you can get the explanation. But it's very simple. Remember, like I said, for my pattern paper, the width I have at the end of the pattern paper is 3.2 inches, and I added my flare width, which is 6 inches, after the 3.2 inches. So that's how to go about it. If you want yours wider, feel free to add to the width you want. If you want yours more moderate, you can use 4 inches, 5 inches, of course, depending on what you want. Okay, so I'm done cutting, and I'll take this out. Alright guys, so please, at this point, if you're watching my channel and you have not subscribed, please do well to smash the subscribe button, and do not forget to like this video, share, most importantly turn on your notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos, because I always drop amazing content. Don't be scared, the gown is not short. It's the camera position, really, it just makes it look as if it's short. It's not a short gown, this is a long gown. The client's full gown length is 54 inches. Okay, so I'm done cutting it out, and when the camera is placed in a better position, you get a better view of the gown. And of course, you can also make this as a short gown if you so wish. You can make it a short gown, you can make it whatever length, it's fine. But this method, it's one method I found helpful. It's easy, and trust me guys, you want to try it out. Once you have your pattern, the rest is just a walkover. Okay, so the next piece I want to draft is the front side piece. Okay, and I also have my side piece pattern. The front side piece is what I was just trying to check the fabric if I could fold into two and get the two pieces, but I couldn't, so I just decided to cut one piece and then I'll cut the second piece off camera. Okay, because of the way I folded the wrapper, remember that the full Ankara length is 45 inches and we needed more length, so I had to fold it using the yardage. So go ahead and place your pattern paper. Okay, I've already, look at what I'm doing. I'm just trying to secure the length. If you're a bit confused on how to get the length for this side part, because of course you know that the side part does not start from the shoulder, all you just have to do is measure the underbust length. Place your tape from your underbust length. Like for my client, our underbust length is 13.5 inches. Now place your tape at 13.5 inches and then get your gown length plus your allowance. Do you get? So that's a very easy way. Please, if you do not understand, ask your questions in the comment section and I'll do well to answer. So like I'm saying, if you're confused on how to get your length, begin your measurement from the underbust length and complete the gown length plus your allowance, and that's how you get your gown length for the side piece. And that was what I was able to secure. I'm just going ahead to mark the line across, and then please ensure that the fabric you're using is enough. Remember I said I'll be using 6 inches for my flay width. Now for these side pieces, we are going to be having the flay extended on both sides. What does that mean? It means that I'll be having 6 inches in front. I'll be adding 6 inches to the front and to the back. So when I'm placing my pattern paper, can you see where I'm placing it? I place it after 6 inches. Now can you see I didn't place it at the beginning of the wrapper. I measured 6 inches, then placed the pattern paper, then measured another 6 inches. So I'm having 6 inches on both sides. And from that, I'm going to, the same thing I have down, up, I'm going to capture it down as well. Okay, so that is what I'm doing down. So the same position I have up, I'll also get it down. Any method is fine for me. All I just had to do was I measured 6 inches from the beginning of the wrapper, then I measured the width of my pattern paper, then I measured it at the base of the wrapper, then measured after the width of my pattern paper. You can see then I went ahead to measure the other 6 inches. Okay, so it's really simple guys. This is just calculations on how to get your placement. So can you see that? So at this point I'll just go ahead and flay it. Guys, it's when you have your pattern paper down, this is, it just becomes, you're just left with getting your paper placement or your pattern placement and then flaying it. Please guys, if you do not know how to mark a princess dart bustier or a straight dart bustier, I have these tutorials on my channel. Do well to check them out. I have more than one video on princess dart bustier, so please check these videos out, and of course update yourself so that you'll be able to follow. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. Then at this point I'll just go ahead and flay it, and then of course we are good to go. Then you can also decide to curve your 6 pieces at the sides. If you want to have that fine curvy shape by the sides, you can just, this is, you employ that on this side piece. Okay, you can go by 2 inches or 3 inches and then just curve it. You see the way a shirt, a packet shirt is curved at the base, that's the curve I'm talking about. Okay, so if you want to curve it, you can just go by 2 or 3 inches and then just blend it to your 6 pieces flare, and you are good to go. Isn't this simple? Please let me know what you think in the comment section. At this point, guys, I changed the camera view and I believe you can get a better look. So can you actually see that it's a long gown? The camera view just made it look short at first. So at the base, can you see how I went up to curve the gown at the edge? So this is optional, although I prefer my gowns, or I prefer having this shape at the end of the gown, so it gives a better, or should I say finer, refined, a more refined look. So can you see what I'm talking about? Of course. So you can even decide to begin the shape from the front center piece, although that would require more calculation, just a little bit of more calculation. But since I didn't explain that earlier, I'll just let that slide for today. You can just include it at the side piece and go ahead and cut, guys. Like I said, this is a very simple method. Please try it and let me know what you think. So I've gone ahead to place my front center piece on another fabric so that I can cut out my back center piece as well. And this, guys, is very simple. All you just have to do at this point will be to get your zipper allowance, place it in such a way that you can get your zipper allowance, and of course you just take your back deep. That's what I'll be doing. So now can you see what I'm doing at where the paper ended, which is like my fitting line, because that's the position I'll be taking my back deep. I've already marked that. Of course, your back deep, you're taking 1/2 inch allowance. So that 1/2 inch allowance I took for my back deep, I went ahead to replace it on that side. Can you see? And of course the back centerpiece, there's no bustier, so I'm just going to blend it in because the front centerpiece has a bit of like bustier shape. So for the back, I just blended it, eliminating the bustier. And then for the zipper allowance, you can see how my ruler is placed. It's slanty because of my back deal. So at the zipper allowance at the top, I went by 1.5 inch. Then I subtracted 1/2 inch. That is why the line is slanty at that position. And then I went back to 1.5 inch. Okay guys, so the last piece we want to cut is the back side piece. So I place my front side piece and then you can just follow what I'm doing and watch carefully how what I'm doing. This is what I'm bringing now is the back center piece. So you can see the way I placed it to cover up the bust area, and then I'll go ahead and cut. Okay guys, so this method, of course, for the princess that bustier to get the back piece, is a method I use mostly on my channels, especially for my Princess Dad Bustier. So if you watch the videos, you would get a better understanding, okay, on why it's like this. But if you're not able to properly maneuver through this, you can just draft your back piece pattern and then go ahead and repeat the process for the front, okay? But this method, I find it very easy, very helpful, no need to redraft patterns. But like I said, if you're not able to maneuver through this properly, go ahead and draft a separate pattern for your back and then place it on your fabric and then just cut the sides. Okay guys, so we are done and this is what we have. Thank you so much for watching. Please do well to subscribe if you haven't. Do not forget to like, share, and give me turn on the notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos, because I always drop amazing content. See you next time. Stay safe. Bye.